For my final project, I chose to focus on art in advertising and the role that art has played in different attempts to either increase awareness about a certain brand or a message. This has been done in the past, especially through posters and paintings, but can be expressed through any type of art. Basically, the idea is focusing on art that has spread a message for either corporate monetary reasons or for awareness reasons. There have been many instances in history where big brands have commissioned certain artists to paint or create pieces of art that center around a company's products in order to gain traction and sales for the company. However, there have also been many instances and situations where art was made in order to spread a powerful message. The first piece of art that I would like to focus on is the Obey Giant posters and propaganda by Shepard Fairey. In order to spread his art, he would place the stickers everywhere, starting in Charleston. The very reason why Fairey decided to create this piece of art, which features the exaggerated facial close-up features of Andre the Giant, was to comment on the idea of advertisements and their relationship with the typical American consumer and the consumer's fascination with the different types of ads. Fairey had even stated that the particular sticker does not have a particular message or meaning, but that the reactions to what he has created are reflections of how they feel. In addition, the posters also feature a large red banner that says "Obey" in all caps. In order to make sure that the sticker and the art is being seen by the right people, Fairey has started to advertise in media that is mostly targeted towards the American youth, such as skateboarding and music magazines. Obviously, Fairey is very in tune with pop culture. It has appeared in episodes of Family Guy and with characters on Cartoon Network. This piece of art has been represented in a rather rebellious nature, as well as other types of street art. Another piece of art that Fairey has created that was popularized and created to promote a certain message was actually the Barack Obama Hope poster. It is described as a large-scale mixed media stenciled collage. It became one of the most iconic symbols of Barack Obama's 2008 presidential campaign, the first African-American president of the United States. This is one of the most well-known pieces of art by Fairey and demonstrates his rather political side. Fairey talks much about how great the grassroots movements are at finding people with the same views as them and joining together to make a difference, which is exactly what this poster does. With this collage, the collage is a picture with blue and red shaded Obama looking upward and hopeful with the word hope towards the bottom of the picture. Fairey said that he wanted Obama to look like he was strong and therefore capable of taking on the incredibly daunting and difficult role as president, but not to the point where he would intimidate the viewer. Obama also looks very wise and knowledgeable, which were also Fairey's intentions, which are both good qualities that our country needs. The very purpose of the picture was to go viral in an attempt to popularize Obama's campaign for president and have him gain the popular vote, to which it did. The campaign poster sold 50,000 units, with t-shirts being produced as well as stickers. Even the former president himself, Barack Obama, took to write correspondence, thanking Shepard Fairey for his support with the former president's historic campaign. Although the relationship between modern art and modern advertising has been flourishing within the recent years, there has been certain journal publications that have indicated otherwise. A journal publication by Jackson Lears reports that although many artists would rather be crafting their own fashion of art, whatever way they please, kind of going off the books, just creating whatever they want to and love to create, the money that advertising offers has intervened in that, with some calling the relationship between art and advertising stupid realism or inauthentic, with the claims that certain artists have been succumbing to the temptations of corporate greed. In the article, it states that the first piece of high art directly appropriated by an advertiser was John Everett Millais' Bubbles, which critics say was turned to commercial advantage and critical uproar with its inauthenticness. The painting shows a small young boy blowing bubbles out of a pipe, looking up at a floating bubble with a bowl of soap suds in his hand. The boy looks like a perfect picture of innocence. Some say that the bubble represents how fragile and brief some beautiful things are before it completely bursts and disappears. The painting was sold with its copyright to A&F Pears, the manufacturer of Pears soap. The managing director, Thomas Barrett, in an effort to outsmart and outsell the rival brand, Sunlight Soap, spent incredibly large sums of money solely with the purpose of promotion and marketing in order to kind of catapult the brand to higher success. Barrett would later add a bar of soap on the foreground of the painting, which turned it into an advertisement. Millais, the true painter and crafter of the painting, was unhappy with this corporate money grab attempt that had to do with kind of altering his painting and changing it, but could not act upon it. Millais was then criticized for the degradation of his art, even though he had no right to change to it after he sold it to A&F Pears, because he also sold it with the copyright. As you can see from the three arts mentioned, which were the Obey Giant campaign, Obama's Hope poster, both by Shepard Fairey, and then John Millais' Bubbles, the relationship between art, advertisement, and campaigns is rather complicated, but is still very prevalent in this day and age.